Hi, friends, welcome. There is a particular kind of quiet that arrives when the world has been too loud for too long. You may know it well. It will. It is not the peaceful quiet of an early morning or the gentle hush before sleep. It is the quiet that settles inside you after a day, that asks too much after a week, and that pull you in too many directions. After months of holding things together for everyone but yourself, it is the quiet that comes when you finally sit down and realize you have been carrying something heavier than you admitted. Maybe that is why you are here right now. Maybe you open this video without really knowing why. Maybe you figure, however, over the title for a moment longer than usual. And something in you whisper, just listen for a little while. If that is true, I want you to know there is no rush here. There is nothing you need to figure out in the next few minutes. There is no decision waiting for you at the end of this. You can simply breathe and be a person for a while. Take a slow breath if you can. Let your shoulders drop a little. Loosen your jaw. Notice where you are sitting, what your hands are touching, and the temperature of the room. You do not have to do anything more than that. You are allowed to just exist here for a moment. This message is shared in the spirit of Archangel Michael, the figure many people turn to when they need courage, clarity, or a sense of steadiness. Whether you see him as a real presence, a symbol, a comforting idea, or simply a way of speaking about the gentler parts of your own inner voice, that is entirely up to you. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Nothing here is meant to convince you of anything. It is only meant to meet you where you are. And where you are right now might be tired, it might be uncertain, it might be little lost, it might be okay or the surface, but worn then thin underneath. You may be you may have been smiling at people all week while quietly wondering when life is going to feel lighter again. You may have been walking up with a knot in your chest that you cannot quite name. You may have been doing everything right and still feeling like something is missing. If any of that sounds familiar, you are not broken, you are not behind, you are not failing at being a person. You are simply human, and being human asks a lot of you. The quiet reminder being offered today is a simple one. It is not grand revelation. It is not a secret hidden from the world. It is something you probably already know but have forgotten in the noise. The reminder is this: you are allowed to slow down, you are allowed to rest before you have earned it. You are allowed to be unsure of the next step and still trust that you will find your footing somewhere alone. The way many of us picked up the idea that we have to deserve peace, that we have to hustle our way to it, prove our way to it, suffer our way to it. That rest is something we get only after the list is done, after the goals are reached, after everyone else is taken care of. But that list never done, there will always be one more thing. And if you wait for the perfect moment to breathe, you may find yourself forgetting how. So consider this is your gentle permission to exhale a little earlier than you planned. There is a kind of strength that does not look like strength. It does not roar or push or charge ahead. It simply stays. It keeps showing up. It chooses softness when life keeps trying to make you hard. It says, I will not abandon myself today, even when I am tired. That is the kind of strength being honored here, not the loud kind, the quiet, steady kind that lives in ordinary people doing their best in ordinary days. You may not feel strong right now. This is all right. Strength is not feeling, it is a thread that runs through you, whether you can sense it or not. Some days you will feel it clearly, other days it will be invisible. But it is still there, holding things together. While you rest, you do not have to perform your strength for anyone, including yourself. Let me share something with you that might be worth sitting with. So much of what we call worry is really love that has lost its way. We worry about our families because we love them. We worry about our future because we care about the life we, we are building. We worry about being enough because we long to belong, to be valued, to matter. The worry is not a flaw in your character, it is love trying to protect what is precious to you. The work is not to get rid of love, the work is to give that love a softer place to rest. When you feel your mind racing, try to remember that underneath every anxious thought is usually something tender, something you care about, something that matters. When you can see the caring beneath the worry, you can be kinder to yourself for feeling the way you feel. Now, I want to invite you into a small reflection. You do not have to answer out loud, you do not have to write anything down. Just let the question move through you and see what rises up. What is one thing you have been carrying that was never really yours to carry? Take a moment with that. It might be someone else's expectations, it might be a story about yourself that someone told you a long time ago and you accept as truth. It might be a responsibility you took on because no one else would, even through it was draining you. It might be guilt for something you have already grown past. It might be a version of you who you should be that does not match who you actually are. Whatever comes up, just notice it. There is no need to fix or fight it in this moment. Just see it for what it is. Sometimes simply recognizing our weight is the first step in choosing whether to keep carrying it. Here is another quiet question. When was the last time you spoke to yourself with the same patience you offered to people you love? If the answer is a while, you are far from alone. Many of us are gentler with strangers than we are with ourselves. We forgive a friend instantly for a mistake we would replay in our own head for our weeks. We tell our loved ones to rest when they are tired, while pushing ourselves to keep going past every reasonable limit. We tell others they are doing their best while quietly believing our own best is never quite enough. Imagine for a moment treating yourself the way you would treat someone you genuinely love, not as reward, not as a special occasion, just as a regular patient practice. What would change if your inner voice sounded a little more like a friend and a little less like a citric? And one more thought to sit with. What would if it feels like to trust that you do not have to know everything right now? So much of our exhaustion comes from trying to solve the future today. We replay conversations that have not happened. We rephrase problems that may never come. We try to plan our way out of uncertainty as if certainty were. ever truly available. But life does not hand us a map of the whole journey. It's hand us the next step, and then the next, and then next. You are allowed to walk that way. One step, one day, one small choice at a time. If your mind has been spinning lately, trying to figure everything out at once, this is a soft invitation to set some of it down, not forever, just for now. The future will still be there when you are ready to meet it, and you will meet it with more clarity if you let yourself rest in the present for a while. Let us move from reflection into something a little more practical, because gentle words are beautiful, but small actions are what carry us through. None of what follows is complicated. That is the point, and most healing things in life are usually simple. We just forget to do them. When the day feels heavy, try pausing before you reach for distraction, just for a breath before you open another tab, before you scroll, before you fill the silence with noise. Give yourself one slow inhale and one slow exhale. That tiny pause is a doorway. It does not solve anything, but it reminds you that you are here, that you are alive, that this moment is real. Sometimes that is enough to change the shape of an entire afternoon. When your thoughts get loud, try naming what you feel, not analyzing, just naming. I am tired, I am anxious, I am sad, I am unsure, I am hopeful, and afraid at the same time. Feelings tend to soften when they are seen. They do not need you to argue with them. They are they just need to you to acknowledge they are there. When you do not know what to do, try doing something small and kind for yourself. Drink a glass of water, step outside for a minute, open a window, wash your face, change into clothes that feels comfortable, send a message to someone who makes you feel like yourself. These tiny acts are not silly. They are the way you tell yourself I matter enough to be cared for. And the more often you say that to yourself, the more you start to believe it. When you feel stuck, try lowering the bar of on the purpose. If you cannot do the whole workout, do 5 minutes of stretching. If you cannot clean the whole room, clear one surface. If you cannot write the whole message, send. Progress that is gentle is still progress. The goal is not to impress anyone, the goal is to keep moving in the direction that feels true to you. And when nothing feels possible, try resting without guilt. Real rest, not scrolling, not multitasking, just letting your body and mind be still for a while. Rest is not the absence of productivity. Rest is what makes everything else possible. You are not a machine. You were never meant to run without pause. If you have been waiting for someone to give you permission to take care of yourself, let this be that permission. You do not need to earn the right to be gentle with your own life. There is something important to say here, and I want to say it slowly so it lands. You are not alone in feelings the way you feel. Right now, as you're listening, there are countless other people sitting with their own quiet struggles. People who look fine on the outside feel uncertain on the inside. People who have been brave for so long they forget they were allowed to be tired. People who are trying to heal something they cannot fully explain. People who are quietly hoping that things will feel a little lighter soon. You are part of much larger circle of human beings who are all in their own way learning how to live with open hearts in the world that does not always make it easy. Your feelings are not strange. Your struggles are not sign that something is wrong with you. They are just sign that you are awake, that you are paying attention, that you care. There is a reason so you many traditions speak of guides, angels, ancestors, and unseen support. Whether you take those ideas literally or simply as comforting symbols, the heart of them is the same. You were never meant to carry your life entirely alone. You are allowed to lean, you are allowed to ask for help, you are allowed to receive kindness without earning it. If you find comfortable in the image of Archangel Michael standing beside you, let that comfort be a soft companion. If you find comfort in the idea of a quiet inner voice that wants the best of for you, let that be your companion instead. If you find comfort in remembering people who have loved you, real and present. Let them walk with you in your mind. The form of the support matters less than the truth that support exists. Trust does not have to be loud, it can be a small whisper in your chest that says somehow I will be okay, even if today is hard, even if I cannot see the next chapter, even if I am not sure how things will work out. Somehow, in a long arc of my life, I will be okay. That whisper is worth listening to. It has carried you to further than you give it credit for. Look back just for a moment at the version of you from a year ago, from 5 years ago, from 10. Look at all the things you were worried about then. Look at all the moments you thought you would not survive, and yet here you are still breathing, still trying, still showing up. You have already made it through 100% of your hardest days. That is not a small thing. That is a quite miraculous record of your own resilience. You do not have always have to feel strong to be strong. You do not always have to feel certain to be on the right path. You do not always have to feel ready to be capable. Sometimes you just have to take the next gentle step and let your courage catch up to you along the way. If today has been a hard day, let it be a hard day. You do not have to make it more meaningful than it is. You do not have to find a lesson immediately. You do not have to turn every difficult moment into a story of growth right away. Sometimes a hard day is just a hard day, and the bravest thing you can do is get through it without abandoning yourself. So we end here this message. Thank you for spending these few minutes here. I know your time is precious, and I do not take it lightly that you choose to share some of it with this message. If something in these words felt like a small comfort, you are warmly invited to subscribe. There is no pressure, no urgency, only a gentle door left open in case you would like to quiet reminders like this to find you again on the days you need them most. If a particular line stay with you, you are welcome to leave it in the comments. Sometimes our reflection becomes someone else's lifeline, and you never know who might need to read your words. Comment I am still here so I can know you are still and you listen this message until the ends. So thank you guys. I I am very hopeful for your support and your presence